Alright, so now that we have our VPN set up, we can add subnets to further isolate our network. Subnets are isolated segments within an AWS VPC that divide the network into one or more IP ranges, as defined by their CIDR block. When you create a VPC, it operates as a large network, and subnets allow you to segment this network into smaller, more manageable pieces. A public subnet is designed for resources that need to be accessible over the internet. Typically, each resource within a public subnet would be assigned a public IP address to facilitate this accessibility. However, merely launching an EC2 instance with a public IP address in a public subnet does not automatically make it reachable over the internet. The subnet also needs a route to the internet, usually through an internet gateway. In order to create our subnets, click on the Subnets menu. It will open the subnet dashboard. At the top right, click Create Subnet. Once the Create Subnet wizard opens, select the VPC where you want the subnet to be created. Give your subnet a name. In this case, we will just name it Public 1. Select the availability zone where you want the subnet to be created. Next, you have to specify the CIDR range assigned to your subnet. You can optionally provide tags. Once you are done, click Create Subnet. Once created, your subnet dashboard will show the newly created subnet. Let's go ahead and create two more public subnets in different availability zones. Private subnets, on the other hand, are used for resources that should not be directly accessible from the internet, but may need a connection to the internet to download updates or for other outbound communication. To connect to these private resources, you would typically use a jump host located in a public subnet. This jump host acts as a bridge to securely access your private subnet resources for management tasks. Let's go ahead and create a private subnet in exactly the same way we created our public subnets. One thing to note is to select the same availability zones you selected for your public subnets. An isolated subnet in a VPC is typically utilized for resources that should not have any traffic routes to the internet, such as databases. These subnets are configured without a route to the internet, ensuring that the resources cannot initiate or receive internet traffic. This setup is particularly important for security-sensitive components of your architecture that require strict traffic control. By strategically using public and private subnets within a VPC, you can structure your network with both publicly accessible components and those isolated from the internet, enhancing the security and efficiency of your cloud environment. Let's go ahead and create isolated subnets in exactly the same way we created our public and private subnets, using the same availability zones, of course. At this time, there is no difference between the three types of subnets other than the naming conventions. They are all tied to the same routing table. In the next video, we will show you how to control traffic between subnets. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.